I'm doing this climb again. Technically means I'm 17 miles into my run, or my ride. 12 miles, done. Feeling good, really good actually. Definitely needed that day off. I am 3/4 of the way done, which will make 8 miles. I'm super happy. What is up, friends? My name is Laura. If you've never visited my YouTube channel before, welcome. I hope that you all my lovely friends on the internet are doing very well. As you know, I've been training for an Ironman. This has made me completely slack on YouTube. As you can see, I'll be honest, I kind of go to do one and I'm like, I just don't feel super passionate about it. And today I actually am very excited for this video. As you know, an Ironman is made up into 3 different events: the swim, followed by the bike, followed by the run. Hence, try. I'm going to break down these 3 events and tell you what I actually started with 4-ish months ago, but also before, kind of leading up into officially training for the Ironman, and what gear I've kind of come up with since then that I really feel like I beneficially will utilize and will really help me hopefully to cross that finish line in 4 months today. I am going to go in order of the Ironman, so exactly what I feel like you need actually once you're actually starting to train, but like I'm saying, also just things that I've been able to pick up along the way and have been really beneficial. I feel like I am someone who I love doing really hard things like an Ironman, but also I don't want to spend all of my money doing it. And so not only does that mean not getting the most expensive thing, but what do you actually need? Do you actually need that thing? Probably not. And I actually read a study the other day and it said like 90% of people going to do an Ironman kind of get all the bells and whistles. I'm not that person, and if you're not either and you're wondering, do I have to spend $10,000 to an Ironman? The answer is definitely no. At the end of today's video, I'm also going to be sharing with you exactly where I am 4 months out with my Ironman training. So the first section, of course, is the swim. This does not mean you need to go out and buy a pool or anything like that. It's probably not going to be long enough anyways, but I definitely recommend getting some sort of membership to some sort of pool. But when I was looking into gyms, I noticed that a 24-hour fitness near me did have a pool, and I was like, that might be awesome in the future. I ended up doing like a full year membership. I do not like debt. I do not like paying any kind of monthly thing. So it's like, what could I get for a full year? It was $399, which I felt was fairly reasonable. So I got that gym membership, and that included quite a decent size. It's 25 meters pool that I could swim laps at my leisure. It's definitely the first thing, having some sort of body water to swim in. The second thing would definitely be goggles when you're actually looking for a swim. Like, it is just, your eyes are either going to burn from that chlorine or you're going to have a hard time spotting yourself correctly. I actually went through a little bit, I wouldn't say of a struggle, but I tried a few different ones. Wasn't super happy with some of them that were fitting on my face. I found some good Speedo ones. They were just on Amazon, maybe like $17, and they've worked perfectly. So that's what I'll say. Those are the only 2 things for swim. Of course, you need like a swimsuit. And I'm 4 months out, I still don't have a wetsuit, so that's just something definitely you can get along the way. Something though that I've gotten along the way is a swim cap, and I have found this, like, it was the ugliest thing when I first put it on, and I actually watched some YouTube tutorials on, you know, making sure it doesn't actually like break my hair when I'm putting it on. It looked like it was going to, and then I wet my hair, put like water in the swim cap like it's told me to do, and it was wonderful. Oh my gosh, my goggles stay in place so much more. I got a Nike one from Big 5, a cheaper like sporting goods store, I think for $19.99, and such a good purchase. So I actually got that maybe about 2 months into training, so not something that you need right away, but definitely something that I would recommend. That is honestly all it for the swimming for now. Let's go on over to the biking. I had actually picked up an a bike off Craigslist for about $500, so it was not like a Walmart bike, but it was like a secondhand, pretty decent road bike. Didn't have any kind of clips or anything like that on the wheels. I just wore my runners, and I was able to get up to 50 miles kind of training into the Ironman. I did sign up for the Ironman. Now I know I probably need a lighter bike and one that's a little bit better. And again, I just went on Craigslist. I found a really good bike. I got that for $1,900 in cash, secondhand. It's about a $4,000 bike. So I definitely got like a decent price. That did include kind of like water bottles and clips and stuff like that. So stuff that I would have ended up having to spend more money on. I highly recommend bike shorts. I did have this going into the Ironman training. I will say, I wouldn't say they're mandatory, but they're almost mandatory. I got them from REI. They're not cheap either. They were like $60, I'm gonna say. I've worn them nonstop though. I probably need to get a second pair. So that's definitely something. I will say I have maybe like 4 bike tops now, kind of some that are super funny. I'll again insert some pictures of my little Big Bird, but just some really nice ones. One even had its tags on. All were from Goodwill though, every single one. So each one was around $4. Most of them, of course, would be a lot more expensive if you were getting them from REI or most bike shops. And this isn't something I would say is super mandatory going into training, but once you're actually in training, you know, you're going to be doing a lot of miles, and you're gonna want to put things in your little pouch back there. Head to Goodwill. When I started, that was literally, I really didn't have anything on my bike. As I progressed, I got a headlamp for my bike that kind of clips in there. You can charge it. It was like $60. I have definitely needed to use it, especially like the back one. There's like one that will go right under your seat, and it's red. It can also flash. If you are in any kind of situation where you got back way later or you wanted to start ride way earlier, that's really good to have. With that said, it also is just good if it was like going to be a foggy day. You don't need to have it when you start out, but you definitely will want to purchase one along the way. I got my helmet, again, from Goodwill. It actually had never been open. I just got one. I think it was like $6. So nothing fancy. I know there are some fancy ones out there. Maybe I'll get a nicer one eventually. But that obviously is something that you need starting an Ironman training, that I did get right off the bat because you want to be safe while riding your bicycle. As I said, my first bike did not have bike clips. Obviously you can switch out the pedals, and I could have put bike clip pedals on kind of thing, but I did not do that. It was actually really overwhelming to me to use these bike clips, but basically everyone that I talked to does say that they've fallen at least once in their clipping experience. But I did end up purchasing some. They're just super basic. I think they were like $45, and I've used those the entire time now. But that was probably only like a month into actually training. So again, didn't have those when I actually signed up and started training. When it comes to running, definitely some good running shoes. That is mandatory. And I hope honestly going into starting to train for any kind of triathlon or Ironman that you do have some sort of base, and that is important. So you probably have been running in the past. Maybe you completed a half marathon and you want to actually switch over to triathlons. I've now had the same shoes like 3 times in a row. Now I literally just order them online, but I really just recommend going to a store. And if you're someone who doesn't like to feel pressured like me from any kind of salesperson, go to like some sort of warehouse and just try on like a bunch. Look like a nerd. Just start doing laps around and be like, yeah, my foot loves this. And for me, it's not a situation of like, oh yeah, my foot really likes this after a couple of laps around the store. Be like, my foot loves this the second it goes into this shoe, and I just feel like, feels heavenly. I recently got a water vest. I don't know if that's what you call it, but for water bottles. That was not cheap, but I felt like I'm probably, I wouldn't say always going to be a runner, but I've always enjoyed running a couple of times a week throughout my life. So I did do that. So I had looked over on my Instagram and asked some people, and they just said, this water vest, you have to invest in it. So I have gotten that. Besides that, of course, just regular clothes. Again, you could go to Goodwill. I'm just an advocate of saving money. But also, you know, just, I would say invest in a couple of different like staple pieces for like those longer runs. A few like higher quality items. I really like Athleta. I always love Lululemon. Those kind of things that are a little bit more kind of runner friendly, hopefully will do the trick. And then just having like some secondary pieces along to go. Besides that, that's honestly why I like running so much in my lifetime, is just, it doesn't take a lot. I hope that you liked that. I hope that it kind of gave you a little bit of an overview, what you definitely need to start with before Ironman training, really like runners on day one, those kind of things, but also things that you will build up over time and get to, so when you actually come to race day and you're in like a couple of months in or a couple of months out from your race, you will feel that much more prepared and kind of your training is able to go that much more smoothly. But as of right now, my longest ride has been 82 miles. I will say around here there's way more elevation, so that's almost 6,000 feet of elevation as well, whereas like the Ironman that I'm actually training for is only 3,400 feet of elevation, and that's over 112 miles, so it's going to be way more flat. So I do kind of freak out that I'm not going that fast. I don't think I'm very fast, for the record. So when I look at that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be coming in at like the deadline kind of thing. But then I do think about it, I'm like, I'm going way faster when it's a lot more flat. So I do plan in the next little bit here to actually extend to closer to 90 miles, but go on some flatter rides just to make sure that I am getting that mileage in, just making sure that I actually am going a lot faster, so that I'm not, I feel like cutting it close to the 17-hour mark is kind of my stressor, but I don't think that I will if it's just the elevation isn't there and I'm not, you know, climbing up a mountain for 6 miles on end. My swimming, I feel like, is my best event. I've never actually really been a swimmer. I do feel like, though, I definitely have natural upper body strength. So I wouldn't say easily, but fairly easily can do 2 miles. I can get my 1 mile in under 30 minutes now. I've enjoyed that. I did 14 miles yesterday actually, but I definitely, all of these things I do multiple times per week. That's just like my longest that I've done up until now at the 4-month out mark. So I feel like I'm in good shape. I think if you asked me a month ago, it's probably why I haven't been uploading as much. I've been like kind of freaking out a little bit that I'm not going to be able to get in shape. But I feel like it is lately, like the past couple of weeks, it's really been like a trust the process situation. It's not like, okay, well, if my program says to do this, I could do more, and like that shows that I'm in better shape. That's not the way your body actually works. So trust the process. If I think that my body could get there in 7 months and I'm looking at it backwards and programming backwards, and at month 4 this is where I should be and I'm there, then hopefully that means at that 7-month mark, I will be able to do an Ironman. So I'm just trying to update you all on how I'm doing, and just kind of, I honestly, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I put a lot in my stories on a fairly day-to-day basis on how my training actually is going and what I'm up to that day. So make sure you follow me there. But it's been a process. I'm excited to do, like, I would say a long video series after to kind of share what I should have been doing all along, or all of those kind of things. So make sure you're subscribed. In the next month, I probably will book my ticket over to New Zealand, continue my training over there. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I feel like I have learned an insane amount in 3 months already about myself, my training, and what it takes to hopefully become an Ironman. So thank you so much for watching, but telling me good luck in the comments does help. So thanks so much. Keep living life. Bye.